Welcome back to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast. The first one of the new year. Hope everyone had a good holiday break, time off, Christmas, New Year's. As promised, we would be back. This episode, I think, has been recorded a little later in the week than usual, but should be out around Tuesday, Wednesday. A lot to catch up on. I'm not going to run over the last 2 weeks. I think I went through and just checked up on a lot of the stories that were posted in and around the last week and a bit, if they stood out, if they didn't stand out, whatever. But yeah, this will be the first one for the new year, so running back in, getting back on track, and yeah, let's get it started. And we're going to kick off with news from Stacked itself. As always, I like to start the show with a bit of admin stuff, things that we do, whether it be a little feature, a little function, a little this, a little that. And so I have some news about something we put out over the last week. Yeah, or last week and a half, basically. And it's called Deformulator. So this was a quirky little concept that has a bit of a backstory behind it, but it's a fun little story anyway. And the premise is you go to deformulator.com. So deformulator.com. And basically every week we put up a fictional facts panel. Basically a supplement or a facts panel that we've made up consisting of some typical ingredients and dosages, and you have to deformulate the thing. So it is indeed as not simple, but it is exactly what it sounds. Deformulate. The catch is that the facts panel we put together is non-transparent, so it's always in a blend, and you are tasked with figuring out the exact dosages of each ingredient based on the information presented to you. So we include a weight of the blend. So let's just say it's 2 grams of creatine and 2 grams of beta-alanine. The blend weight will be 4. And you have to guess from multiple choice. So there'll be 3 answers to choose from for each ingredient. And you have to guess because the beta-alanine and creatine could be 1 gram and 3 grams. Could be 1.5 and 2.5. Could be 2 and 2. Could be 4 and none. Well, it can't be none, but guess my drift. There are a few options, and obviously multiple choice combinations make it a little bit easier to figure out because obviously it can only be one of the multiple choice answers. And you are presented with the which ones you got wrong at the end. So let's just say the creatine was 2 and you put 2, but the beta-alanine was 2 and you put 1. At the end, it'll say, hey, you got a 50% fail, basically. So if you get anything wrong, it's a fail, and I'll tell you that which one you got wrong, and then you get to go back within the next 24 hours to do it again. So you get 5 chances to redo it 24 hours apart, and the grand prize. So every week we're doing a prize. This week it is a $100 voucher for Tiger Fitness, or gift card for Tiger Fitness. Last week it was that one. We've had a lot of sponsorship inquiries, so we will be partnering with brands to give away prize packs, aiming to be in and around that amount. So let's just say we partner with a brand. We would want that major prize to be worth $100 or so. The first week was pretty intense. I think only 35 people got it right of the several hundred, close to 1,000 that did it. This week we've made it a little simpler. It's basically just a bit of fun. And there is a time limit on each time you get to try to deformulate. So you open the little game and you get 3 to 5 minutes to do it. If it's a complex formula, we might make it 5. If it's simple, make it 3. This week, I believe people have already commented. Someone said they did it in 30 seconds first time out. So, and we do give you some hints in the facts panel. So, for example, the first week there were 9 ingredients and we said what the caffeine was, which is 400. So you can... Typical facts panel rules are that in a blend, the first ingredient is the heaviest, then the last ingredient is the lightest. So yeah, that's the typical format that we follow. So that if you know the facts panel, that is the order in which things will be going. So yeah, it's a nice fun game to give a try every week. We have a little pop-up on the site right now that you can sort of click and link. But again, just go to deformulator.com. And yeah, we're going to keep pumping them out. Hopefully build a nice little fan club for it. A little, just a nice little legion of fans that want to give it a try. And we're rewarding people for taking the time to enter. And that was kind of the point, was to help spread education and information, and also give consumers the chance to walk away with some free stuff. The education side obviously comes with the knowledge of dosages. So you get to learn about blends. Most weeks we'll be making it reasonable dosages. So for example, like 5 grams of creatine, 3 grams of creatine, 3.2 beta-alanine, things like that. I won't make it like 10 milligrams of citrulline unless otherwise stated. So if I put a description for the facts panel or fictional facts panel and say great strength but ass energy or something like that, I don't know, and then the choices of the caffeine is like 300, 110, then you're like, okay, he did say that, maybe it's 10. That's the rare occasion. I'm just future-proofing myself, basically. But yeah, you get to learn about how blends can work, how they can be manipulated, and then also ingredients, what kind of good dosages you can expect. If good dosages are in a blend, what that blend could look like. So it's a fun game. Crafted it over the holidays, and yeah, head to deformulator.com. Give it a try. Let me know if you like it. Any tips and feedback, feel free to shoot them over to me. We are constantly tweaking it. I think the first week we had far too many people fail and just not figure it out. So we are obviously working to figure out how complex is too complex, how simple is too simple, and so on. But yeah, so we're going to get straight into the news now. Kicking off with details from RYSE. So RYSE, the giant supplement company, behind obviously RYSE Fuel, the RYSE Liquid Protein Powder, several different pre-workouts, including Pump Daddy, Stim Daddy, and Godzilla. They have announced their hydration supplement. More importantly, they've unveiled the formula. I'm not sure if we covered this in a previous podcast episode, but this was something they teased or previewed a little while back. Now they've shared the details, and it is it's relatively straightforward. So, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Most hydration products are straightforward in the sense that they just focus on hydration. There are some out there that mix things up, might add creatine, might add a bit of beta-alanine, might add some synactive, elevate ATP, things to additionally help the benefits of hydration to sort of make for a more complex experience that does indeed support hydration, but furthers that benefit of performance and endurance and so on. So yeah, they've come out. RYSE has revealed it. It's a pretty well-rounded blend. You got a nice array of electrolytes. There is a gram of taurine. They've got cocoa organic coconut water. Estrogen is in there to elevate absorption and efficacy. And then interestingly, it is straightforward on the hydration side, but there is a nice little twist. RYSE has put in choline bitartrate, not a huge amount, half a gram, but an amount nonetheless. And that is there to support focus. It's common in pre-workouts to have choline, even choline bitartrate, to help elevate focus and cognition, and they've gone and thrown this in the hydration supplement, making it a bit of, it's not supremely intense in terms of they've got 5 ingredients as well as five ingredients for focus, 5 ingredients for hydration, so I wouldn't call it a hybrid supplement, but they have got choline in there to make it, as I said, a 2-category competitor that helps with both hydration and focus. But yeah, you can check that out on the site. I believe, let me double check, actually. Oh, it's gone now. I had it in front of me, now it's gone. I do believe it's launching soon. I don't think it's available right this moment, but when we posted about it, it was over the last week or so. It was still coming soon. So keep an eye out for that on the RYSE online store, which, as always, they do pretty reasonable prices for all their supplements. Next up, we got a bit of fun from the team at RXBar. So RXBar, the maker of the No BS protein snack. No BS meaning, because I don't know why I censor myself here. The no bullshit protein snack, famous for putting its ingredients on the front. So it's if you don't know it, it's the bar that has, like, not that these are exactly, like 4 dates, 3 almonds, 2 egg whites type thing, and it's in an effort to sort of be transparent and tell you exactly what's going into your protein snack. And yeah, they announced a promotion. Now they've given you from last Thursday to this Thursday. So if this goes live Wednesday, you still have a chance to get in. Basically what it is, wait, is it this Thursday? No, end of this week. So you have until the end of this week to get in. Still plenty of time. Either way, what they're asking you to do is pledge to move your couch. Move your couch anywhere. I believe is the game. So if your couch is in your living room, maybe shift it somewhere else. Maybe put it in your kitchen, put it in a bedroom, put it in your hallway, put it in your garage. Shift it somewhere. Shift it. Put it in the attic. And if you agree or pledge to do this for 30 days, you will go in the draw to win $2,500 and a year's supply of the RXBar. The prize is great. Cool. Anytime you can get some cash is fun. And a year's supply of anything is, I mean, I won't say anything, but a year's supply of some stuff is pretty cool. But the fun that they're asking you to do, I thought was pretty cool. Move your couch. I'm not sure how they're tracking it. If you take a photo, I don't really know how that works, but that is indeed what they are doing. And yeah, you pledge, you're in. No purchase necessary to take part, so you don't need to buy a box of RX bars in order to do this. You just need to gear it. And the whole point is, obviously there's a point, not just prizes of moving your couch, is that the couch, as they describe, is one of the coziest, comfiest places in your home, usually situated in front of a TV or at least a relaxing room. The point of moving it is so that you don't rely on it for the relaxation, and you then in turn become more active and get out and about, basically. So yeah, it's a fun little game, fun little contest. You can check it out on the site. We've got details. I believe the site to go to enter is RXBar bar the couch. So just RXBar bar the couch. You do have to write bar twice. Was a mistake in our original story, but the link was good. So yeah, you can head over to that website and pledge, as they say. I think that's a pretty cool little way of saying enter. Instead of saying enter the contest, they say pledge to move your couch. So promise you will indeed move your couch for 30 days. Next up, we go over to MyProtein, who didn't actually, this isn't a news or development, but this is a fun little fact and a very cool little twist. So the team at MyProtein put out a list of their top selling supplements in different parts of the world. Now, MyProtein is probably one of the only guys who can do this. There are a handful of others that are definitely capable. I'm not saying like that they're one of a kind, like Muscle Tech, Optimum Nutrition. I'm sure there are others that would come to mind, but those are the giants in terms of international. So MyProtein, who serves God knows how many countries, famously had over 10 million shoppers through its online store. They have put out a list, and it basically breaks down the favorite or their fans' favorite product from each of those countries. Now, they don't have every country they serve, and they don't have every country, but they do. Some of those places they're broken down per city. And I just thought this was a really fun thing. This isn't, like, again, any kind of news story, but it is cool because it's based on 2023 as well. So these are the top selling products per country. And you can check out the list on the site. Just type in MyProtein, I would say top selling products. That might get you the right place. I'm just going to give you some of them. So in Greece, Japan, India, and Spain, and China, and parts of Australia, and New York and Tennessee in the US, their Impact Whey protein, which is their star protein powder, is their #1 seller. And they break that down in flavors in some areas, but in the likes of the UK, Germany, and Queensland in Australia, as well as Texas and in the US, their top selling product is clear whey protein. So it's again, if you're a consumer, you're like, okay, cool, I don't drink that. Or if you're, if you do drink one of the favorites, you're like, oh, well, good, other people like it too. I thought it's mostly fun for the businessy side. It's a pretty cool little thing to look at and see what countries like what. And I thought it was really cool seeing that the likes of China compared to someone like Spain, both like the top selling supplement is the same regardless of country. And then you go to Sweden, #1 selling product from MyProtein there is the flavor drops, which is their concentrated liquid flavors. And then Australia, you got Impact Whey Protein, and then there's Impact Protein Bar is the #1 seller in Melbourne. But it's just cool seeing the different top sellers and just knowing the types of individuals and types of cultures and people and sales and all that jazz and how well they do it. It's very rare that you get to see a glimpse like this into a behemoth, especially the behemoth that is MyProtein. who, as I said, serves countries all around the goddamn world. So pretty cool little insight. You can check that out on the website at stack.com. Next up, we go over to Apollon Nutrition, who pumped out a beast of a supplement to close out the year called Fuck Mediocre. I wonder if that would be censored. Either way, if it is or not. On the label itself, it does say like F #CK. Obviously, the word is maybe it's meant to be FAC, maybe it's meant to be something else. I don't know, FIC. But I think it goes without saying it's Fuck Mediocre. And yeah, it's kind of their closeout of the year pre-workout. So they did this last year for Triumph. And you will remember that was just that was the rare elite level pre-workout. I've used that term very, very rarely because there's very few that you can reference in that situation. But an elite level pre-workout is essentially one that kind of takes that premium pre-workout, it goes up a notch. So some of these premium pre-workouts that have become a little more common these days, where you get 10 to 15 ingredients for a $60 pre-workout. An elite pre-workout goes all the way up anywhere as much as 80, 90, 100, and it kind of steps that up even further. Obviously, 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2 when you're adding that many ingredients together, but it's interesting to see those things play out, and that's what Triumph did. It was a powerhouse of a pre-workout. This year, I'm just going to say F Mediocre. The F Mediocre is their Apollon Nutrition's closing out the year pre-workout, but it didn't have that premium ingredient approach in the sense that it went with a lot of different branded ingredients, pushed to that elite level. They went for what I kind of felt was just a hefty dosage, like a fat dosed hooligan. So it's not necessarily similar to hooligan, but it is close to that. Sort of its own product really, but it's got a lot of the ingredients that you'll find in other Apollon pre-workouts, but the dosages are just chunky as hell. Just to give you some of the highlights, and then you get 10 grams of straight citrulline, 6.4 beta alanine, a huge 4.2 grams of NO3 arginine nitrate, 3 grams of tyrosine, a gram of alpha GPC. Estrogen is in there to help with absorption and efficacy. You got alpha urohimbi for a nice intensity, and then there is in typical Apollon fashion, there is a solid level of caffeine with a combined, I believe the total of all of it is 600 milligrams, which is on par with some of their signature pre-workouts like Hooligan and Assassin. Now the catch with this supplement is that it did, when it became available, I think at the close of the year, and then it actually sold out, I think within less than 48 hours, so just over a day, almost a day it sold out. But it is still out there from what I know. You could still head to retailers, so a lot of retailers got in and grabbed it, including the likes of Aries Nutrition. I believe Natural Body was another one. Someone in the UK grabbed it. I think NutriCartel as well was another one. So a few retailers got it, and they weren't included in that sold out announcement, if that makes sense. So obviously they sold units to these retailers, and then they sold out of the stock that they had for direct to consumer. And that's the sold out part. They sold out of direct to consumer, and then you basically, the only place to go from there is those retailers mentioned. From there, we're going to shoot over to keep the news going with details from Mountain Dew. This is a rare one. I don't usually announce these things, but this was an interesting story. I had mentioned a few people mentioned it to me. So if you've ever drank the Mountain Dew Energy Drink, originally called Mountain Dew RYSE Energy, was dropped in partnership with LeBron James like several years ago, a few years ago now. And then they changed to just Mountain Dew Energy Drink after a dispute that resulted in them having to change their name. That product has been phased out. It's been discontinued right on the first month of the new year. So you will not, so if you can find it, kudos. But if you go to find it and it's not there anymore, it won't likely be coming back. They have discontinued it. There's a website that used to link through to Mountain Dew Energy, and you could visit and it would take you through to more information like most websites do. That website now redirects you to Rockstar, and it has a little page basically saying Mountain Dew Energy is come to a close. In fact, I got the full statement, right? Well, not full statement, but the message they left on their site. It says, after careful consideration, we will be discontinuing Mountain Dew Energy. We're incredibly grateful for your support. Fear not, Rockstar has your back for your energy needs. Find your flavor today. And so Pepsi owns Rockstar, also owns Mountain Dew. It is Pepsi, yes, but so it does make sense that when they lose one brand, they direct it to another. And Rockstar is a solid choice. They are very, not in size, but similar in Monster in terms of variety. They have a vast selection of energy drinks, sugar-free, fruit juice, high. They got a nice variety, and they got a nice variety of tastes. So it's an ideal replacement. You'll find something, not the same, but at least similar tasting along the same lines in terms of even caffeine approach, maybe even the taste, even the fruitiness over at Rockstar. But yeah, that one has been phased out. Again, right at the first month of the new year. So if you do not, if you go looking for it and you can't find it, Google, and you might even find the Stack story. But if you are watching this, it has indeed left the building. Next up, we're going to shoot over to, we got two stories to close out the episode, and I'm going to start with Naughty Boy. So Naughty Boy, if you're following Stacked, hope you were, as we only took Christmas Day off, but pumped out stories every single day and getting back into the motion of getting them double-digit news contents out every day. Naughty Boy ran through December announcing a whole host of new products. There's a mountain of them. I think it was something like 12 fax panels of Christmas or something like that they did. And they basically dropped the fax panels for 12 upcoming supplements. It was insane. It's very rare that you see anyone launch 12 entirely new supplements in 1 year, let alone have them ready to go enough to share their fax panels for when they launch later in the coming months. So they're primed and ready, basically, is what I'm saying. But the news we have basically from over the break or since our last episode is Naughty Boy has come out and dropped a bomb of announcement saying they are going to do at least 100 new SKUs or items, products in 2024. Now that is no damn joke. And there are companies out there, giants that I know pump out mammoth amounts of SKUs over the years. MyProtein, I know, is famously one. They drop a whole host of supplements, products every year. SKUs, for those who aren't familiar, is in reference to, I guess, every kind of item unit sort of thing. So if you have one protein powder and you launch it in 10 flavors, that's 10 SKUs. So when they say 100, it could be 10 products, 10 flavors each. It could be 100 products at one flavor or one very capsule size each. And again, a lot of companies out there do some juicy numbers. The interesting part about Naughty Boy is they don't famously pump, I guess, non-interesting things out there. They generally put out some damn good supplements. And so when someone like them says, I'm going to do 100 SKUs next year, at least 100, so there may be more, after they just dropped the fax panels for 12 entirely new supplements. And then also this past week, they launched a new sleep supplement, two in fact, one called Blackout and one called Sleep, I think the other one called. One's for the UK market and one's intended more for internationals. So that's two supplements launched this year, 12 revealed back in December, none of which were the sleep supplements as far as I can remember. And then that promise of 100, at least 100 SKUs this year, they are shots fired, basically. Keep an eye out for them because, like I said, that is a beast of a brand. When they get going, they weren't as busy this last year as well as the year before. They weren't as intense as they has been. But they are our two-time International Brand of the Year. I'm pretty sure they were nominated for Newcomer of the Year when they came out. They might have won it too. I'm trying to remember. But they have won International Brand of the Year twice. It is no joke. They can, when they get on a roll, when they get pumping and when they get juicing things out, they know how to make some noise. And so 100 SKUs this next 12 months is, I mean, you'll see it on Stack, so keep an eye on it. But if you see more and more of Naughty Boy on social media, it's not because we're playing favorites like as we never do. It's purely because they are rolling it out. So keep an eye out for them. But the last story we have to close off with is the one on the screen, and this is from the giant Optimum Nutrition. the legendary brand that's known for amino energy. You got Serious Mass, the high calorie gainer, but the one they're known for most is Gold Standard Whey Protein, the first supplement I ever tried in my life, and probably the first supplement for many others, and one of the most widely available and even recognizable supplements out there. It's not often we see them drop new products. In fact, it's incredibly rare, especially in the US market. Internationally, they do things a little differently. Sometimes Australia gets things that you can't get anywhere else, and so the UK and Europe. But this week we had news out of the US, and it is a very interesting supplement, product, spin-off, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a variant of Gold Standard Whey. But as you can see looking at the picture, if you go to the site, it doesn't look like your typical Gold Standard. So it's called the Refill Recyclable Bag. Now, this is it is a 2-pound tub of Gold Standard Whey in 2 flavors, chocolate and vanilla. I think they have double rich chocolate and vanilla ice cream. So, and you get the same amount of servings in a 2-pound tub in this bag. The bag itself is entirely recyclable, and there's no scoop in there. And so, as you can imagine, the concept here is that it's more environmentally friendly. So obviously, if you buy a bulky tub compared to this recyclable bag, it's much more environmentally friendly material. Specifically, Optimum Nutrition says the bag uses 85% less plastic compared to the tub. Again, it's in the name. It is the Gold Standard recyclable bag, or recyclable refill bag. So it is intended to be a refill. Don't go out and buy this as your first lot, because obviously there is no scoop, unless you want to go rogue and use like a regular spoon and weigh it out. But the concept here is you would buy one tub, maybe a 5-pound or a 2-pound, and then you would use this as a refill, hence the name implies. The downside is that it is obviously more environmentally friendly, and it's a great cause and a great focus, of course, but with the removal of the scoop and the change in materials, the price is exactly the same. So you don't gain anything by buying this. And it is only available, from what I know, through Optimum Nutrition's online store. And it's only in a 2-pound size. So if you are a 5-pound buyer, I'm a regular buyer of 5 pounds at the very least. Sometimes I do 10s when I can get them. You are not going to save money by buying this. Again, if you buy 2 pounds regularly, and specifically in the chocolate or vanilla flavors, here you go. Grab this, refill your tubs with this. But if you're a 5-pound buyer, because they are more cost effective than the 2-pound, or you're even a 10-pound buyer, which the Gold Standard Whey protein powder is available in, this won't be as cost effective. So I love the concept. I think it's great anytime you can become more environmentally friendly, or at least offer it to consumers. It's a plus. And big shout out to Optimum Nutrition for doing that and introducing it through the online store. What I would like to see is more options, more flavors. Because again, I typically buy 5 pounds. I don't think that I remember the last time I bought a 2 unless I was traveling. And I imagine a lot of people out there are like that, because Optimum Nutrition knows this, because they sell 5 pounds and 10 pounds. So I would like to see something a little bigger. Even because a 5-pound, if you bought a 5-pound refill bag, you could just fill up your 2-pound tub anyway. Obviously, it's a bigger investment, but you would be able to fill it up the same way. You just reseal the bag back up, and you obviously get the benefits of the support and the good cause of the recyclable bag. But very cool concept, I will say. I'm a bit nitpicky, and I got my points, but I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea. It'd be cool to have this in stores if it gets to that point. More flavors, bigger sizes. But I think I got to give out an applause for Optimum for this. Again, we don't often see them launch new products in the US, but this is a new product, and it's a pretty cool little twist on arguably the most legendary protein powder on the market in Gold Standard Whey. For all the stories we mentioned on this podcast, head to stack.com, check them out, just do a little search. In fact, some of them might still be on the newsfeed in the featured section at the top. But yeah, for this episode, that is it. As always, make sure you visit the website every single day, sometimes 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever times that's all the support that we ask. Visit the website, stay up to date on supplements. That is the service we provide to the industry as best we can. Share it with your mom, your dad, your brother, and your sister. Absolutely, your grandma if you want. Make sure they check it out too. And yeah, if you can, like and subscribe to the podcast. And I look forward to having you back next time.